You begin as a tiny embryo, trapped inside your mother's body along with hundreds of others. The space is cramped, dark, and silent, save for the faint movements around you. A few bodies next to you no longer stir. They died before ever catching a glimpse of the ocean. A few days later, you hatch. There is no time to adapt. You swim immediately, weaving through other bodies, some still shrinking, some twitching slightly, and others completely motionless. There is no distinction, no second chances. You only move forward. Up ahead, the space narrows. Your mother's body contracts, the current surges pulling you with it. You are squeezed through a narrow passage, your body twisting under the pressure, and then, suddenly, you are thrust out. The ocean opens up. You tumble once before finding your balance. Your tail begins its rhythmic beat. Fins unfurl to stabilize your weight. This is the first time you are truly swimming. No guidance, no one to show you the way. Your mother does not stay. She dives into the deep water without a sound. You do not chase her. You couldn't even if you wanted to, and you will never see her again. Something floats past you. It doesn't move. It doesn't react. It is one of your siblings, one who didn't survive the birth. You bank slightly, swerving to the side. Not out of fear, but because you understand it is over for them. As for you, everything has only just begun. You swim forward, letting the current take you. Light flickers and patches across the surface. You open your mouth for the first time, letting the water rush over your gills, filtering anything small enough to keep. You don't yet know what you are eating, but you know one thing. You must keep moving, because here to stop is to disappear. You keep swimming, keeping your mouth open as the current flows through. There are no skills to learn. No one to teach you how to hunt. You simply filter the water and hope that things small enough get caught in your gills. You don't know exactly what you're eating, but it's soft, slow, and doesn't run away. That is enough. You stay near the surface where the light pierces through and the currents carry more plankton. You don't speed up, nor do you change direction much. Your body is designed to drift, not to give chase. And that is exactly the problem. You are not a predator, but that doesn't make you any safer. A month passes, you are now nearly half a meter long, but in this ocean, that size means nothing. You are still small enough to vanish into the shadow of anything larger. You no longer see others like yourself, not because they have traveled far, but because they didn't survive long enough. Then the water begins to change. At first, it's just a faint, hazy layer. Then it thickens. Tiny particles suspend everywhere, so dense that you cannot see further than a few meters. The coral is spawning. The ocean is flooded with eggs and larvae. You swim straight into it. Mouth agape, you pull an entire layer of food through your gills. For the first time, you don't need to search. Food is everywhere. Simply moving is enough. For a moment, everything becomes easy. Then the others appear. Small fish dart in first, tearing through patches. Immediately after come the larger ones, tuna, jack, piercing through the cloud of food at speeds you cannot match. The water begins to churn violently. The currents become chaotic. You keep filtering. You have no other choice. A large shadow rises from below. Another whale shark, nearly twice your size. It doesn't slow down. It doesn't avoid you. It simply plows ahead, displacing the water to either side as if you don't exist. The force of the water sends you reeling, your mouth snapping shut for a split second. By the time you stabilize and open your mouth again, the cloud has vanished. The food disappeared as quickly as it arrived. You leave the reef, your belly not yet full. Not because you were slow, but because you weren't big enough. You keep moving, following the warm currents without needing to know where they lead. Your body is larger now, strong enough to hold steady against the flow rather than being swept away. You are in no rush. You have no reason to be. But the ocean does not slow down for you. 8 months pass. You are now nearly 2 meters long, no longer small enough to vanish instantly, yet not yet large enough to be ignored. You remain in that middle ground, the place where anything can happen. Night falls, and the water grows darker, colder. You maintain your steady pace, mouth slightly agape, to filter what little food remains. Then you see it. A shape standing still ahead of you. It doesn't swim. It doesn't drift. It is unlike any creature you have ever encountered. No fins, no tail, and most importantly, no scent. You slow down. Your body senses the faint signals in the water, the electrical pulses that living things usually emit. But this thing, it is wrong. It gives off an uneven, unnatural rhythm. Still, you approach, not out of hunger, but because you do not understand what it is. Then it glows. A red flash flares up, cutting through the darkness directly in front of you. You flinch, twisting your body to dive, but your movements are slower than that thing. It lunges. A heavy impact slams into your flank. Immediately after, a sharp point pierces the flesh behind your gills. You writhe, thrashing hard, but the thing is already gone, leaving behind only what is now embedded in your body. You dive deeper, avoiding the light above. The pressure builds, cold water tightening around your frame. You cannot see the wound, but you can feel it there, hard, strange, and not a part of you. You cannot shake it off. A few days later, you return to the surface, slower, more cautious. You avoid shadows that are unclear. You avoid anything that stays still for too long. You don't know what it was, but you understand one thing. There are things in this ocean that do not hunt you for food, and they will be back. You grow, not quickly, but enough that everything around you begins to shift. Your body is longer, heavier, and each sweep of your tail now carries a power you didn't possess before. You are no longer drifting. You move by your own will. 5 years pass. You have crossed the threshold where most small predators no longer care to try. But that does not make you safe. It only changes the type of danger you must face. You leave the reefs behind, venturing into deeper aquatic corridors where the currents carry endless ribbons of food. You open your mouth, maintaining a slow swimming rhythm, letting small fish and plankton pass through your gills. Then, your body jolts. A pulling force tightens across your fins. You saw nothing beforehand. No movement. No signal. It is only when you are entangled that you realize it exists. A net, nearly invisible, stretched taut across the water column. You twist, trying to back away. But the more you move, the tighter it constricts. One fin is trapped. Then your torso, the cords chafe against your skin, straining across your back. You stop, not because you want to, but because you understand that the more you struggle, the tighter you are held. Then, the shadows begin to move. They emerge from the edge of the school of fish. Not in a rush, not in chaos. Massive black and white bodies glide through the water with a precision you have never seen. Orcas. They do not attack immediately. One approaches, nudging the net lightly. Another tests it with its teeth. They are inspecting, understanding the structure, finding the weakness. Then, they act. A violent tug makes the netting vibrate. Another lunges into the center, ramming it with its entire body. The cords begin to fray, then snap. A gap opens. You do not wait. With a powerful heave, you thrust your body through the narrow opening. The net scrapes against your skin as you break free, leaving long abrasions behind. But they do not stop. An orca changes course, surging after you. It doesn't accelerate yet. It knows you cannot run far. You pivot. You do not flee. Your tail sweeps across with all the force you have. The water explodes as your fin strikes its face. You feel the impact. It recoils, veering off course. That alone is enough. You descend deeper, leaving the area without looking back. They weren't there for the net. They were there for you. You keep moving. There is no destination, no territory. You simply follow the warm currents where food appears and then vanishes. You do not hunt. You do not compete. You only exist long enough to become larger. 30 years pass. Your body is now colossal. The things that once threatened you no longer appear as often. Then, the water changes. It is not because of food. A faint but persistent signal pulls you in a different direction. You do not understand what it is, but you go anyway. Finally, you see her. Larger than you. There is no ritual. There is no choice. You close in, hold your position, and complete the only act you were born to do besides surviving. Then she leaves. She does not look back. Inside her will be hundreds of new embryos, and they too will begin the same way you did. You dive. Everything returns to normal. 5 years later, you are moving through a region thick with plankton. Then, it happens. A massive impact slams directly into your head. A colossal block of metal shears through your body and continues straight ahead. You lose control. Everything goes dark almost instantly. You sink, slow and heavy. When your body hits the bottom, there is no sound. There is no trace. There is only the ocean closing over you as if nothing had ever existed. And that is how it ends.